First thing is the rings have to seal. No, the first thing is you can see the way the rings are free floating in the piston. Now, two-stroke, you have pins somewhere in here on the top ring, and on the second ring, they let the ring move a little bit side to side, but they don't let the ring spin all the way around. Because if you do, what happens is you can catch these edges in the exhaust ports, these edges, and what you'll do is you'll break the rings so they don't allow them to move that well. Now, a lot of people have this misconception that the static tension of the rings holds it against the cylinder wall when in the combustion cycle. That's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. The way that these rings work is that when you have this explosion right here, exploding, what happens is the explosion will go down to this top ring. It will go in behind the top ring in this loose area, and it'll actually, the gases will, like my fingers, will expand the rings against the cylinder wall and hold it there. That's the way it works. That is the reason why the rings have to be free floating. If they are jammed in here with carbon, which a lot of them are, then you have to take the rings off and you have to clean out these ring channels and make sure your rings are free floating. Now, a case in point is if we look at the piston, and like I've told you before, you want to look and see what the engine is telling you. The first thing is, I was told, you see this dark area right here down on the piston, or down on the piston arm? I was told that this is part of the annealing process of the when they make the crank. Well, maybe it is, and I don't think it is. What this shows is that this arm has gotten way too hot. The next thing you want to look for is you want to take your piston off, and you want to look right down here. And I can't take the piston off with one finger, but if you see darkness or any kind of burn marks underneath the crown of the piston, it means the piston is getting too hot. All right. Next thing you want to look for is, you see the little tiny oil marks right here underneath the bottom ring? Like I said, this bottom ring is the oil ring. There should be no oil marks or anything beneath it. Those aren't oil, I'm sorry. It's called blow-by. It's where the top combustion has blown past the rings and gotten onto the piston, which it should not do. And you can see it's done it right here too. So we look around and I say to myself, okay, why are the rings bad? The bottom rings, are they bad? Well, let's take a look at them. The top two rings move freely all over the place. The bottom ring does not move at all. It is completely carbonized in place, and that is why you got your blow-by. Now that the ring isn't in bad shape, it's not all chewed up, which is nice, but all these rings have got to float freely in the piston, around the piston. If they don't, you're going to lose efficiency, you'll lose compression, and it's just not good. I'm kind of interested to see if the new crankshaft I've ordered, and I've ordered a new crankshaft, new piston, new head gaskets, new other gaskets, a new hose for some of these, a lot of parts. It's cost a few $100s, but it's worth it to the owner to have a bike that is going to basically be rebuilt and taken a lot of time and care and love to build it. So I'm going to post these, and I hope you've learned something about pistons. And if you don't believe me about the rings and how they work and how the combustion pressure gets behind the rings and pushes them out, widens them, then I suggest you look it up on the web, and maybe you've learned something. But as you can see, the rings moving back and forth like this. They're supposed to do that. All of them are supposed to do that. They cannot be locked in one place or carbonized in place. They have to be taken out, cleaned, and replaced. Okay, I hope you learned something new tonight about the Ruckus. And if you're from the United States and you're celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and had a good day. We get the day off. I don't get paid, but we do get the day off. Okay, I'm going to post this.